Alright, so I have got a super spicy replay here for you. This is a game that I played earlier today. It was actually my very first game of the day, and well, you'll see. If you're in my Discord, you'll probably have seen it already. But this is a daring game on Haven, obviously. First things first, looking at threats to my ship. Carrier is going to be annoying. Smolensk is going to be annoying to deal with. Hayate, Ragnar, Radar, Schultz for destroyers, and then a salmon to piss me off. So I do spawn in the middle here, which is a little bit annoying. I honestly really hate maps where I spawn in the middle and I have to like kind of choose which side I want to go to, because I hate like that feeling of you have to choose which side and then you choose one based on like, oh, this side already has two destroyers, or oh, this side has the destroyer and carrier support, so I'm going to go to the other side, or something like that. And then your team on the opposite side either just collapses and you're best off over there and you have to waste time to rotate, or the enemy team goes super heavy and all the damage is on that side, or whatever the case may be. Not that damage really matters, mind you, but anyway. Of course, the fucking cunt in the carrier is going to come piss me off first thing. Typical. And as soon as these planes leave my air detection range, I go to turn off my AA. So that way, once the my AA is off, my detection's not going to be blooming because I'm shooting at the planes there. Now, the Schultz was spotted heading towards this way, as with the Smolensk. The Ragnar gets spotted over towards B, which is a huge thing because that means I don't have to worry about the radar. So any trouble that I find over here, I can immediately just smoke up against and be more or less fine. I'm probably going to take damage from it, but I can always just hit my smoke and disengage as I need to. So I am going to be a bit aggressive pushing up here, even though I know that there's a Smolensk and a Schultz heading over here. And the fact that I was contested there without spotting the Schultz did tip me off to the Hayate a little bit. And this Hayate is actually going to do a decent job of throwing me off here, because I was expecting him to immediately accelerate, which to his credit did throw me off there, even if it would make him an easy target for someone who's not as bad as I am. And don't worry, you're gonna see plenty more aiming failures here because I'm just bad at the game and can't aim properly. So the Smolensk gets spotted over there, which is a bit annoying for me, but the Smolensk is going to break line of sight behind the island. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to keep this smoke in between me and the Hayate and the Schultz. I was in basically the perfect spot to be able to do that. So I was able to get a couple of pot shots off at the Hayate without being detected. And, our Tulsa is pushing up here, so I'm kind of hoping that he's going to radar here so I can get some more shots on the Hayate. This carrier's coming to piss me off, and of course he does. The Tulsa finally hits his radar, so I'm just going to smoke up. And because this Hayate's radared, I'm basically fine. Because I can sit here, smoke up, sit in my smoke, miss everything, and just shoot at the Hayate for free until he exits the radar range. Nah, a minor spoiler. This Hayate is going to get away here, which is mildly annoying. Another minor spoiler is this Anhalt on our team right here. Just pay attention to this guy. Just pay attention, like just in the back of your head. Just pay attention to this guy and just kind of glance at the minimap from time to time, and just see where he goes. So, with that out of the way, the Hayate is low. The Schultz has clearly fucked off, presumably into that smoke screen. I'm honestly not entirely sure if that's a Schultz smoke screen or the Smolensk smoke. But I believe, well, my guess is that if it was a Smolensk smoke, it most likely would have faded by now. Russian smoke doesn't last particularly long. It's not like German or Royal Navy burst smokes level short, but it's not particularly long either as far as like smokes go. I think it's about average. But I'm gonna try and pop a cheeky shot off on the Libretarded over there. It doesn't happen, and I do end up getting spotted for it, which is honestly a bit sloppy on my part. But no one really had shots on me, and I immediately ended up going dark anyway, which was a little bit lucky, admittedly. I could have gotten reset there, so it might have been worth it to burn a smoke screen, and if I thought I was going to be coming under fire, I would have. But while all of that was going on, they have a Libretarded, a Pommern, a Bismarck, a North Carolina, and a Tianjin. Tianjin. Is that how that's fucking said? Whatever. They had one of those things. Basically, half their team just walking into B here. The submarine ends up stepping into A here, which I initially wasn't really keen on going after, because I would have been doing it in front of 3 secondary battleships. But as it happens, I end up being unfortunately kind of forced to. This Libretarded ends up slowing down. He's still going to eat a couple of torpedoes. But, you know, I would have preferred he ate more. Potentially all 4, but it is what it is. Right here, honestly, I might have been better off switching to the HE here, because I'm just getting fucking shatters on him. I think I probably am aiming a little bit low, and I end up beaching here, which is a little bit sloppy. I was looking at the mini-map, and I thought I had a little bit more room to go around the island. But my smoke is luckily still up, although it is fading very fast. So I'm just going to try and get dipped around this island here while my smoke is still up to break line of sight, which is up long enough for me to only be detected for a few seconds. That was a bit sloppy, but we got away with it. Wasn't too bad. Now that the Libretarded is going to break line of sight, gonna pop a few cheeky shots off at him. The Yugamo is doing whatever he's doing over there. Now, I have me some battleships to farm. How fun. Pommern just hit a DCP, and right here, I'm just going to hyper focus on the Pommern. I know that there's a North Carolina pushing up that's begging to be farmed, but at this point, our team is already 3 kills down compared to the 1, so I wanted to try and get that Pommern killed as soon as possible just to even the playing field a little bit. And then, as it happens, after I did that, we immediately lose the fucking Brisbane, the Tulsa. I think the one other ship's going to go down here as well. I forget which one. The Ohio. Yep. The Ohio ends up going down. The Kearsarge is next to the carrier in typical Kearsarge player fashion. And just like with the Pommern from earlier, even though that North Carolina just burnt a DCP, I do have torpedoes out on him, although I don't think they're going to hit. My goal right now is just to try and kill this Bismarck, to try and level the score a little bit. Luckily, though, the Brisbane takes out the, whatever the fuck that's pronounced, and the Yugamo manages to torpedo and kill the North Carolina, so good stuff. And the Bismarck secondaries kill the fucking Yugamo. And here's my second aiming failure. I thought the Salmon was going to move in a bit of a straighter line than he ended up doing. And then, well, yeah, just don't look too hard. The Bismarck ends up burning out, which gives me my 2 kills to trigger my Cunningham proc, so I do have an extra smoke and heal. which is going to be helpful later on. So at this point, what I'm looking at is we know the Hayate is super fucking low. He's been low pretty much since the start of the game. But our carrier, I believe one of our team tells the carrier and the Kearsarge, both of which have planes, by the way, because of course they do. Despite having basically 2 carriers on our team, this Hayate is going to live because neither of them are going to go after him. Now, the Shimakaze unfortunately face checks the Ragnar, which is unfortunate for him because, oof. But in a huge kill, though, the Shima ends up torpedoing and trading for the Ragnar, which the Shima for Ragnar, as far as I'm concerned, is a definitely worthwhile trade. It does suck that we lost the Shima to do it, but that Ragnar was the single biggest threat to me because I can smoke up against anything else. I have 4 smokes thanks to Cunningham. So, the radar there, the loss thereof, was a huge thing because that means my smoke is going to be basically able to save me against anything that the enemy team might try and throw at me. Our Anhalt is, hold on, I don't think, is this guy talking? I think, hold on, does the replay show? Okay, no, never mind, it is. I ended up blacklisting this guy because he's like a 46% or a 45%er. But anyway, this Anhalt is talking shit, so just keep paying attention to him. The lib-retarded funny button is up, so I am pretty hesitant on trying to get the... just trying to open water this man. I want my smoke up in order to farm this man, because the lib-retarded secondaries are super scary. Even to a... even at this distance, to a destroyer, yeah, you don't want to mess with lib-retard secondaries when the funny button is up. So, I am going to pop a smoke here, try and get some pop shots off at the lib-retarded, and that's when the Schultz ends up popping up. Managed to snap some shots off at him, but I am going to turn my attention back to the lib-retarded once the Schultz goes back. And the Anhalt, of course, ends up killing himself. And don't ask me how the hell those shots are going over. It happens, I guess. Aiming bug-free game. That does not look like I was aiming high. I admittedly could have been because I'm fucking trash, but I don't think so. It just felt like those shells were going high. The Schultz looked like he was slowing down there, so I did adjust my aim there before he accelerated. But he just kind of ended up straight lining. The Anhalt literally just went around the border basically and then pressed W. Now, for a split second there, the CV died a few seconds before the Schultz did. So for a few seconds, I was up against 4 enemies right there. Just keep that in mind. Because when I was playing it, I was actually thinking like, okay, so I have 3 caps. There's no solo warrior on the table, which is unfortunate because at this point I didn't notice that the CV died before. It was only after the fact that it kind of clicked there. But right now the CV's of course going to come over here and grief my ass. The Smolensk is the main thing that I'm worried about because this Smolensk is still basically full health. Right here, I am leaving my AA on. I honestly should have turned it off because just to make it harder for him to drop on me. That is something that you see a lot of destroyer players kind of mess up on, is that they leave their AA on when they really shouldn't. Like when the planes exit your air detection range, you see right here, if I had my AA on, I would still be detected here and give this guy the chance to line up a more accurate drop on me. So that is something to try and keep in mind whenever you're playing against a carrier, is when you're able to, turn your AA off as soon as those planes leave your detection range, so that way you'll immediately be able to go dark. I popped some torpedoes into sea. They're entirely Make-A-Wish torpedoes. And the idea is, of course, if you saw the Lib Retarded in chat, they told the Hayate to go get C. So this Hayate knows that I'm over here because I was being spotted by the carrier. So he would have thought that it would just be perfectly safe to head straight on into C. So those were entirely Make-A-Wish torpedoes aimed to kind of try and catch him off when he tried to go into C. It didn't end up working, but, you know, oh well, that's just the nature of Make-A-Wish torpedoes. Right now, what I'm thinking is, I know that Hayate is low. If I can kill this Hayate and he just ends up inting right into me, which is nice. And then, of course, I end up inting my fucking initial shot, which is unfortunate, but... Hayate basically just donated, your typical destroyer player fashion, but now, if all I have to do to win this game is stall the capture of B for as long as possible, because as long as that Smolensk is in B, I'm not taking points off of it. Obviously, because it's detected, but if you notice, we still have control of A and C, which means we have these two caps ticking, whereas the enemy only has D. So what my goal right here is to delay the capture of B for as long as possible, force the Smolensk to spend as long as possible trying to cap this, and I am going to shoot right here to try and get blind resets, because I just straight up do not want this Smolensk to cap, and I intentionally let myself get detected here just so the Smolensk will shoot at me and give me something to try and blind fire, and I want to get this reset because, as I explained, I want these two caps to be ticking for as long as possible. And I do manage to pick up a couple of resets here, which is huge. And I do have to kind of turn my attention to not beaching in front of torpedo planes for a few seconds. And, I mean, if you haven't noticed, this carrier player is kind of fucking trash. So, the Smolensk ends up fucking inting into the torpedoes, which I honestly wasn't expecting. I was prepared to just keep blind firing into the smoke. I was going to loop back around and just pump as much fire into that area as possible to just pray I get a reset and then go from there. But it didn't end up being necessary because the Smolensk managed to fucking eat torpedoes. Now, the only ship left is obviously the carrier. At this point, minor spoiler, is this carrier ends up being basically in his spawn, but at this point, I did not know it. I saw his planes coming from kind of this direction earlier, but it didn't, and I thought he was kind of over here, but what I'm expecting is this carrier, if he was going to, would have been in one of the caps by now, if he was that smart. But it's too late for him to win by trying to cap one of them. And well, yeah, this carrier's mega fucking bad. And as soon as that Smolensk died, my immediate instinct was, okay, I have triple caps, I have the points, I have 2 heals and 2 smoke charges. All I have to do is sit on my ass for the next minute, and I've won the game. All I have to do is nothing. But when it really kind of clicked, as soon as I saw those dive bomber drops, I was like, okay, this carrier player is mega, mega bad. So I decided right here to be a little bit greedy. If I did not have the consumables that I do, I still have 2/3 of my health. I have 2 smokes and 2 heals. So the risk of me throwing, and as well as the fact that the carrier is mega fucking bad, that too. The risk of me throwing here is extremely small. And, well, of course, there's the carrier. And minor spoiler is this carrier is going to end up living. Because I'm just going to end up running out of time, which is ultra fucking tragic. Even if I didn't switch to AP here, I thought that was enough broadside to be able to get 8 full AP pens. But it was not. I'm just getting non-pens and bounces. But even if I didn't, the carrier was too healthy for me to kill in time. So this shitbag is going to get away, which is mega unfortunate. But, you know, even despite that, the shitbag getting away, I still managed to claw back that victory after my team basically threw it. So, you know, we take those. Solo Warrior, Confederate, devastating strike on a Smolensk, who, by the way, should have had Hydro running. Maybe he was out of charges. I don't know. It was late in the game, to be completely fair, but we take those. The Hayate donating, the carrier being fucking trash. All of these things kind of came back to I think the single biggest thing that won this game was the Shimakaze trading for the Ragnar. That Ragnar, if he was allowed to live, would have been much harder to deal with, because the Ragnar would have capped C while the Smolensk capped B, and I could not deal with both of them. So I wouldn't have been able to try and stall the capture of one cap to try and get 2 caps ticking to 1 for as long as possible. I wouldn't have been able to do that, and I would have had to kill everything in order to win. And honestly, if this Shima, even though this Shima's fucking trash, like, there's no way of saying anything else, this guy's fucking bad at the game, he did get ultra lucky with the Ragnar kill. So, and that really is what kind of saved the game right there, even though it might not look like it. But the Libretarded got rewarded for pressing W in typical secondary ship fashion. And, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Really nice game. And also, this fucking shit-talking Anhalt placed absolute dead last behind everybody, by the way. And that's why I kind of called attention to that guy earlier. So if you ever see this guy, make sure you make fun of him in chat. He's a 45%er. He deserves it. So that is pretty much going to be it for this replay. Nice game. 60 hours, so close to the 420 on the Libretarded. Oh well. The entire Hayate health pool, a good chunk of the Smolensk. Got a couple of kill steals in there. The Salmon, the Pommern, the Schultz. I didn't do nothing to, but I didn't do most of it. I don't know what hit him. Maybe ate like a Shima Torp in a smokescreen or something. He was low. I don't know what hit him, but whatever. He's dead. I'm not. He lost. I didn't. So that's it. 27 defended, 7 kills, 2 capture, and a bunch of medals. So yeah, good stuff. Hold on, what the fuck? Okay, never mind. I was about to say something else and I fucking immediately forgot what the fuck it was. God damn it. If I remember, I'll throw it in like the video description or something. But that is going to be it for this replay. Yeah, that's it. Happy holidays, filthy animals.